I'm Sharon. I'm a psychotherapist and a narcissistic abuse survivor, and welcome back to my channel. So today's topic I'm going to cover is what is the narcissist thinking and feeling subsequent to me breaking up with them. Okay, so that's a question I get asked quite often by my clients after I've broken up with the narcissist. Are they feeling what I am feeling? Are they going through the same emotional pain that I am going through? And the sad answer to that question is no. And I'm going to explain to you a little bit about what they are thinking and feeling during this time. So when you have the courage to finally break up with the narcissist, you need to realize that this was not on the narcissist's terms. All right, so he or she has been caught off guard by your decision, and this is usually incredibly painful for them, but not the same kind of painful that it is for you. So you've gone and ended it. They weren't expecting it. Therefore, they don't have another source of supply lined up for them. And this for them is an incredibly scary, scary time. So let's say you have ended the relationship. They will then give you that, like I've mentioned in previous videos, Academy Award winning performance of tears, threats of suicide, bargaining, pleading, telling you why this is the worst decision you could have ever possibly made, how you will never find someone to love you quite the way they love you. You'll be given every single reason to stay with them. Let's say you then also pluck up the courage to ghost them for that period of time by maybe, or even, giving them the silent treatment by cutting them off on all social media, etc. So you've done this now, and what will then be the repercussion of that from them to you is a silent treatment right back. Now that will be something you don't expect, especially if they have given you that award-winning, performance of "I can't live without you." It's a confusing time for the victim because you're now thinking, well, hang on a minute, why are you not fighting for me? I don't understand. So even though on the one hand you want to get rid of them, on the other hand your ego is saying, why are you ignoring me? And that's a clever tactic of the narcissist, because then what starts to happen is the person that did the breaking up is then the person to suddenly reconnect with the narcissist, because that silent treatment leaves so many questions unanswered to the victim, but the victim then reaches back out to the narcissist. And then very often the relationship will start all over again. The narcissist will then go back to being really, really nice, go back to fulfilling all the promises that they had given you during the time of your breaking up with them. Whether it's to go for therapy, whether it's to just be generally a nicer person, they will then be that person for you and to you for a space of time. And I'll explain that in a minute as well. Let's say it was an immediate, you took them back immediately. The result is still going to be the same, as I'll explain. Or let's say you took a couple of days and they love bombed and hoovered you and rocked up at your office with, declarations of love. You take them back. Now, I can promise you that during that silent treatment, during those few days when you were ignoring them, they were then already thinking about that next supply. They were either organizing it and setting it up, or they've already put it into place, because they know ultimately you're going to leave them, because they're still going to know that they're going to go back to the person that they were before you broke up with them. They don't change, and they know that. So the end is it's inevitable. All right. So they were going to basically plan, it's like a revenge attack back on you. So they know that you want to end it, but it has to end on their terms. So I can guarantee you that if you take them back, it will end, but it will end on their terms and not yours. So what they will then do, for instance, for example, is be that Mr. Wonderful or Mrs. Wonderful or whatever the case may be, or they will basically go back to being the person they were when you first met them, which 9 times out of 10 was quite amazing. And then just when they feel like they've hooked you and roped you back in, they will give you that devastating ending. And I can promise you now that ending will be back on you, will be projected back onto you. Basically, with excuses like, well, you know, you made me feel, I got XYZ, you know, I've moved on to somebody else now, I've met somebody else because, you know, I just felt like you didn't appreciate me. I felt like you know, you got rid of me. You're the one who initially ended this. And you'll be left feeling as if that end is your fault. It's somehow your responsibility. So no matter what, no, you know, it will end. It will end. All narcissists go into relationships anyway, plotting and planning the end. They're never forever. It's just that the ending is either going to be up to you or it's going to be up to them. But it's going to end one way or the other. So my other bit of advice I want to give you is, if you are not yet ready to end the relationship with a narcissist, if you are simply ending the relationship because you want to give them a warning, or you want to you know, you just want to ruffle their feathers a little bit, you want them to somehow see your importance in their life, please be warned that it will backfire on you, because all they will simply do is take that as their avenue for exit. They will then get that other source of supply ready and waiting, so that when they then end it with you, they then have their security. Remember, by ending it, you are simply cutting off the air that they breathe. You are simply taking away their validation. You are simply taking away their adoration. You are simply no longer feeding their ego. Those tears that they give you when you break up with them, that make you feel so guilty, those tears are not for you. They are about you, but they're about what you are giving them, not about losing you as an individual, as a living, breathing human. They couldn't give a shit about who you are, all right? They care about what you give them. So on that note, if you have broken up with a narcissist, stay away. Don't go back. It will end. If you're thinking about ending it, know that they will try and get you back. Very good chances are, because it needs to end on their terms. Make sure that you are ready for your exit strategy and that you are dead serious about ending it. Otherwise, it will backfire on you, like I said. All right, that's all I have to say for today. I wish you all a lovely day, and I hope it's an arc-free one. Chat soon.